Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
You know what I have noticed, especially around the Middle East and Ukraine, that Trump is always, he keeps saying, never would have happened, never would have happened. If I was in office, never would have happened, never would have happened. You know what he doesn't say? Which I've just noticed over the last little bit. You know, what they say, ISIS attacking Iran, never would have happened. When I was up in Pakistan, getting bombed by Iran, never would have happened. If I was president.
Yeah.
The Sudan civil war, never would have happened. Like the rest of it, unless unless there's a Jew on one side of it, being either Zelensky or the Israelis, he doesn't care.
Right.
And neither do the people who are getting the most wound up out there. It's amazing to me.
Well, so it's just, I keep saying this over and over, but it's just, all they care about is blocking Joe Biden on everything. They are friends of America's enemies and enemies of America's allies. I mean, they're blocking, obviously, aid for everything. And this is other big bag of rats news. Fight, fight, fight. Mm-hmm. Speaker Mike Johnson said he's not concerned about comments Marjorie Taylor Greene made, who said she will move to oust him as Speaker if he supports aid to Ukraine. He was asked, are you worried about threats to your job like that? And he said, no, I have a job to do. We all do our jobs. Marjorie Taylor Greene's very upset about the lack of oversight over the funding, over the lack of articulation of a plan, blah, blah, blah. Marjorie Taylor Greene also lost her cool on fellow Republican head of the Freedom Caucus, Bob Good, calling him a MAGA traitor. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what he did. Bob Good ran on MAGA and Trump's endorsement in 2022, and now because DeSantis, he endorses DeSantis. He says Trump is unelectable.
Because DeSantis can also do 8 years. There's another group, there's another slice of these folks that the argument they're making is even if Trump gets in, he can only do 4 years. And the rest of his followers are like, no, he'll just make himself dictator for life. On dictator day one, it'll be like the infinite wishes thing with a genie. Like, I wish for one day where I'm a dictator. Okay, and in that day that I'm a dictator, I declare myself a dictator for life. Like, that's what they're hoping and expecting him to do.
Yeah.
And by the way, an ever-dwindling crowd of Trump supporters. Again, 14% turnout in of the voting electorate in Iowa. He only got half. That man...
He got half what he got last time. Yeah. So,
98% of the Republican vote in 2020, and now he's got half. And half of Haley's voters, half of DeSantis' voters, all of Christie's voters, even though he stepped out, none of them are voting for Donald Trump. That is a guaranteed shave-off of 25% of the Republican votes. Never mind the independents that aren't going to lean their way because of Roe v. Wade being crashed and the like.
What happens?
No way.
Obviously, there's a new poll today I just did earlier. A huge percentage just say they won't vote for him if he's convicted, right? And so, and I think you and I both know he's going to be convicted. So then what happens? Then what do they do? And what if they've already nominated him?
This is another way of giving themselves cover. They're just like, I won't. They know he's guilty. They know he's wrong. One of the other things, by the way, that you'll never hear him he'll bring up like his court cases, the E. Jean Carroll thing. He talks about ad nauseum. The civil case. One of the reasons why he drew attention to that specifically is because you've noticed he stopped talking about the Mar-a-Lago raid. Yeah. That was a big fundraiser for him right after it happened. They raided Mar-a-Lago. And
weirdly, Judge Cannon is the only one that hasn't gotten any death threats or swatting. Huh? That's so strange.
It's weird. But you'll notice he stopped bringing it up because that one is also cost him about 8% of Republican votes right off the top. They're like, those people who genuinely look at the seriousness of the documents case, which is the one thing that will capsize more votes outside of people who are just disgusted with him in general, is that 8% who are like, I'm not voting for that guy. He took classified documents. We have no standard if he becomes the guy. Period. End of story. Yeah. And then the other half are like, he's being taken off he should be allowed to be on the ballot because people should have their choice in a democracy. Okay, first of all, you can't vote for somebody under 35. You can't vote for somebody who's born overseas and, who's not an American citizen. But also, if he'd have done January 6th in 2017, he would still be eligible to run for president because he had not taken his oath yet.
Can we add untreated syphilis to that? Just to
another
safeguard?
I mean, we all know what happened. I don't know what it's going to do for all the people who like yell freedom like they're in Braveheart when they're trying to elect Robert the Bruce, the syphilitic leader who gives up William Wallace and lives in in a tower that looks like Mar-a-Lago, with bandages holding his face together.
Ron DeSantis said Republicans are going to lose if Trump is named the party's nominee. Now a warning. Yep. If Donald Trump is the nominee, the election will revolve around all these legal issues, his trial, perhaps convictions if he goes to trial and loses there, and about things like January 6th. You are correct, Ron, although you are also awful and unelectable.
Well, I got news for you, too. He's right about that. But they also lose if he's the candidate. Yes. They also lose if Nikki Haley is the candidate. Right. There is no option where they gain their entire base, where they hold on to the base. No single person will hold on to the amount of people in the electorate that they need to cross the finish line. No one. Trump loses half. And the DeSantis,
because they're all pathetic. They all say, if
Trumpers voters are
if he's convicted, but he's being unfairly persecuted. They're trying to have it all ways, right? Nikki Haley's like, I haven't heard anything about the rape things, and innocent until proven guilty. It's like he's already been proven guilty.
He's already
of rape.
Yeah, this is about damages at this point.
Yeah,
and if it wasn't for that New York law, he would have been able to stave this stuff off as well. Yeah. He showed up 6 more times in the Epstein flight logs than had previously been reported.
Yeah.
And I would like to add, when do we get to see the Trump plane flight logs and any flight that he chartered that wasn't his plane?
Hal Sparks is here, general rock star of the world. Also,
you can see him on stage.
Co-star of the Sexy Liberal Save the World tour. Yeah. I think we're using.
That's right.
We're using Chris's idea. I love it. Sexy Liberal Save the World, because now it's bigger than democracy. It's the entire world.
I will never shy away from it. My show is called Mega Worldwide for a reason. We're far reaching. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly.
And people should get, anytime we live stream the show, people should get it, because our jokes are going to have to change all the time because of the turnover in the news. This is not your standard comedy tour where everybody's doing the same set.
We should say we can't make every show pay-per-view. We feel bad, because a lot of people are asking about San Francisco, but it's very expensive, and obviously in cities where we don't know anyone, it's just but we promise
preparation is like exponentially a lot more, and we just can't do that every time.
Yeah, and we always do it in LA, obviously, for the big finale of the year, but we promise there'll be at least one pay-per-view this year, but we can't obviously do that every show. So come see us live.
That's
you get hugs. You get a lot of groping. That's
right.
Meeting and groping.
We will tailor our shtick right to you.
Exactly. And this, how are you doing right after this show today? Are you?
No. Not today. I have Thursdays. Yeah, Thursdays I'm on later. I'm at 4:00 Pacific.
Okay.